Hi, my name is Natalia and I come to you from north part in Denmark when I'm living with my family, and it's my podcast. I record last time around 2 weeks ago and I decided to do this every 2 weeks because every week that's too small time for me to actually produce some new objects. First, I want to start with what I'm wearing. This is a sweater from designer Sari Nordlund. The pattern is called Sora, and I really like this. I think it's have really nice loose, it have positive ease, but I make this cropped because I'm not really tall and it's actually that style of sweaters what I like to wear. It's not really cropped, but it's a little more as my natural waist. I was knitting this sweater from yarn, but I actually think it's more for machine knitting because there was some crazy amount of meters per 100 grams. I don't really remember, but I remember that I bought 300 grams of this yarn. Then I divide this in 100 grams, and then to knit in this sweater I was using 3 strands together. But it's merino with cashmere and it feels really nice. And this contrast in colors what was used on cuffs, on the bottom ribbon and here on the top. This is sock yarn. I don't remember the producer, but I will link my project page down so you can check. I really like this sweater. It's easy to wear and at the same time it's look really nice and have like nice finished look. Now about finished objects. Last time I had one sweater in work in progress, and that sweater was actually missing just sleeves, if I remember. It was test knit of the sweater Baku, and now I'm ready with the sweater. I actually used the same gray color because even from that I had 300 gram, I still have leftovers, so I need the contrast color in this sweater with that gray color, and I still have some leftovers, but I don't know where I will use now. But yes, this sweater is also really nice. I like the fit. The pattern was really clear. I was test knit this pattern. There wasn't really mistakes in the pattern, so the deadline for this knit it's somewhere in February, but it's more like to the end of February if I remember right, or some first days in March, but I'm ready. So I don't know what else to tell about this sweater. I make the pictures and you can find more information and more pictures on my Ravelry page, what will be linked down. I'm not sure about this sweater, about this stripe here near the waist, because I feel like it's dividing body, or I don't know how to explain this right, but I'm not sure if I will keep this line. So for now that stays like that, because I have plenty and other things what I want to knit and I'm interested more knitting them, and it's wearable. It's nothing it's wrong with this sweater. It sits nice, it's soft. I wove in the ends, not like in previous times, so it can be weird. And I think I already even used this once, or it was just for pictures. I'm not sure now, but that will be linked down below. And I have one more ready object, finished object. This is a pair of socks for my son. They wasn't even started last time, but last time I had in the finished object short socks for myself, and my son was looking on me while I was knitting this and was telling that he really wants socks like that. Then when I was finished with them, I tell like, okay, now I can start socks for you. And he tell, yeah, I want blue and green. And I was like, what? Because my socks was like rainbow colors and nothing like that. I was thinking he want the same colors. No, that was green and blue. But we looked through my stash and I hadn't really colors what was combined green and blue together, but I have some of this different shade of blue colors, and it wasn't even 50 grams. So I don't know if I used that yarn before or I get this in small amount. So I cast these socks 2 at a time, starting with toe and then continue make German short row heel and continue again until I had around 3 grams left, because in my cozy memory blanket the one square is taking me around 3 grams, and I hadn't this color there, so I was wanted to put one square from this color. So I pick up some leftover sock yarn in this I don't know, greenishly blue color, and just make ribbon on top and done. But there is one problem with these socks. I'm afraid that they're slightly too big for my son, and I don't know what actually to do, because if I want to make them smaller, then I should rip all the way down to foot there and then make some smaller and then knit again heels and all this, or should I just pick up before heel, cut some rows and sew this together after this? I don't know. I think I will cast another pair and make them a little smaller, and that will just go to wait next year and will be socks for him next year. So I think the pair take all in all like maybe 42 grams, because it's not big socks, it's kid size. But I really like to knit like 2 at a time socks. It's taking longer to go through the lines, but you don't need even mark how many rows you have, because you're actually making row on both socks at the same time. So it's quite easy. And then all what I do separately for these socks, it's toe and heels. But toe I just like cast on some numbers and get to the point when I should continue with the leg, the same here. And then when I went to heel, I just make heel on the one while another still was on the needles, and then make heel on another one. So that wasn't really hard or complicated. I think I will try to make more socks 2 at a time from now. I was doing this before, but then I actually have quite a lot socks for myself, and my kids like knitted socks, so probably I should make more for them. My husband, he don't really use knitted socks because he look on this like on some treasure. I will destroy that. I will put this on leg and they will get destroyed. But they need it for be used, not for be like a piece of some art. So, and if I like to make this, I don't see a problem. So for now my plan is to make more socks for kids, because I have plenty of socks and I'm using my socks all winter, but still I don't need so much of them. So maybe later I will make more socks. I had a plan for this. Now I think it's time for work in progress. I was hoping that I will have finished everyday sweater, what was also test knit. I will link the pattern down below, and that sweater should be for my daughter. It's living, that's not a project bag, it's just some storage basket, but I really like use them for project because they sit nicely on the shelves where I'm storing my yarn, and my yarn also sit in baskets like that, but bigger one. So I make, last time I had just one panel done. It's this sweater, it's made in a panel, so you it's look like that now. I don't know if you can really see that. It's knit in a panel. First you make in front and back, and then you make in sleeves. Sleeves in a pattern also was written to be knit flat, but I really don't like so knitted fabrics together. That's taken me so much time and energy, and I just really don't like that. So I knit the sleeves in the round. I don't think it's really changing something in the pattern. I just was knitted one round knit and one purl stitches, so it still look like garter stitch, so everything is okay. Then I sew together shoulders, put sleeves in, and then I ask my daughter to actually try it, if it fits and everything okay. It should be oversized, it's meant to be oversized, so it fits, it's good. But my daughter tell like, why we just don't leave the sides opened. She tell like, I will use some t-shirts under this anyway, because the gauge is quite loose, so it's quite see-through. So we decided maybe it's okay idea, but then fully open, I think it will not be really comfortable, so we decided to put bottoms on the side. And first, I don't bought the bottoms yet, and another I decided that because the sweater wasn't designed to be opened like that, this edges should be closed, so I pick up crochet hook and decide just to make chain to the end to make it look more finished. And then I think for the bottom I just will make some loops, but I wasn't crocheting really long time. I was trying before, but I don't really know how it all work. But this time I pick up and I knew what to do. So I had right away idea, I should start granny stripe blanket. But I will not, because if I will start that my cozy memory blanket will never be finished. And that's a lot of work what should go in there. So I actually hope to be done with this sweater to the next time when I will podcast, maybe in 2-3 days, because that's not a lot of work left. I crocheted one side, so I need just another side and the bottoms, so that should take like half an hour and the sweater will be finished. I should actually start with this. The next work in progress is no frills cardigan. It was on my list make 9 for 2020, and I almost done with that. I'm knitting this also for my daughter, because my previous no frills cardigan is living in her now, because she borrowed this once and I never get back. I had this yarn bought for this cardigan, but the problem is that this yarn is a lot more thicker than what was recommended in a pattern. And first I was thinking like, oh, I will start, that will be slightly oversized, I will use the recommended needle size, the pattern recommend 4mm needles for this. So I was thinking like, okay, I will use the same, everything will be great. So I cast on top here, like the pattern call for. Then I went all the way to the part where we split sleeves. I leave the sleeves to rest and the needles need some down, like, I don't know, maybe 15-20 centimeters. And then I try this and find out that's too big. There was no chance that will look nice. Maybe nice, but that will be like sweater for house, but not like sweater to go out. And sleeves was also, I knit one sleeve and it was really wide. That wasn't looking nice, and because of all decreases what you do on raglan, the sleeves were starting really low, almost near the elbow, maybe not to the elbow, but like half through. I decided that's not good, and I rip all the way, like, I don't know, like some stitches divided. After here, and then I start to make increases for the raglan, not like it's written in a pattern, but more rarely. Like, for example, if pattern calls to do increases in every round, I will do every second round. And then I just was trying this and find out when is good place to separate sleeves and the body. I will try to make notes on my project page and write which yarn I use. It was actually acrylic yarn, but it was in my stash and I had like 10 balls of that. And because of this year I decided to use my stash actually. I decided to make this cardigan from this yarn, but it's really soft, so I don't see the problem with this yarn. Maybe now I will don't buy this yarn, but back that time I decided, oh, it's nice, I want to use this. And now if I will just throw it away, it will be not really good use for yarn. So I decided to actually use it. If I already bought it, better to use it. So for now, I'm finished body. I'm not completely finished because I still have needles here, and I decided to make tubular cast off, bind off. Yesterday I finished the sleeves and make tubular bind off on the sleeves. I watched like 3 tutorials how to make it, but I managed to do this. But I think that it looks really similar to something. I think I was using some bind off, what would call it in one pattern. I don't remember exactly, but the pattern called to separate that previous, it was called to separate pearl and knit stitches on different needles, and then sew this together, something like we will sew in toe if we start in socks from top. So I managed this, I finished the body. I need to make tubular bind off. I don't know how exactly long I need to leave yarn for that, because it's quite long. I don't know how much exactly stitches is here, but it's quite a lot. And after I'm ready with that, I should make pockets, because this pattern actually have a pockets in. I was also need to kind of like calculate stitches what I need to make for pockets, because after I separate sleeves and the body, I had completely different numbers what in a pattern. So I just looked like, okay, pocket should be on this length, and then I kind of like try to put the hand on the knitting fabric and see how much I need to actually, how wide this should be that my hand actually will get in that pocket. And then I just count the stitches, put some stitch markers, and make symmetric one pocket on another side. So I hope next time I will show finished objects. So this is this t-shirt what I'm test knitting now. I don't really know how to show you that. I will put link down below to my project page, so you can see this better there. I should be done with this to 15th of March, so I have actually plenty of time for this. I'm not stressed, not pushed about this, so I will just work on this, and probably next time when I will want to show you this, it will be easier to show, because it's have really interesting construction, but for now I don't connect all pieces yet, so I'm not working in around yet, and it's hard to show for this reason. So this is actually all what I was working these 2 weeks. I made just one square in my cozy memory blanket from the color of this socks. So I decided that's no reason to bring it here and show. But I decided at the end of the video to tell about some interesting events what was connected to the knitting part of my life. So last week I decided to join some knitting group what I find they have meeting in my city, so I decided to join them, and that was actually really nice. First I was afraid like, oh, I don't know, no one there. And then I was thinking like, oh, what if I came there and there are just people not my age or like really different age from mine, and we don't have what to talk about. Then I was thinking, oh, what they will not understand, what if they will not understand my Danish, or if I will not understand what they will talk. But I decided, okay, if that's really bad or I can't do this, I will just tell that thank you and we'll go home. But actually everything was really nice. All understand me, I understand everyone, and that was really nice to sit, knit all together. There was around maybe 15 ladies what was knitting, so that was really nice. They was knitting and crocheting, so I really want to make some knitted, I don't know, toy you call this. There's really nice, my son really like superheroes, and there are really nice patterns of Superman, or I don't know who else I was seeing, Iron Man. And I was thinking, oh, I want to try to do this, but I don't know how actually to crochet. I know the simple things, but I don't know if I can read the pattern or go through, and I don't have who to ask about help. But now I'm not too scared. Next time when I will go there, I will try to take a pattern with me, buy the yarn for this, and maybe try to crochet. So that was really nice. And it's actually all about knitting. Oh no, that's not all. I have really big question. I have a sweater. It's, if I'm not mistaken, it's Tucumseh. I will link to my project down below. This is 3-color sweater normally. So it's a main color, then this pattern and this pattern normally should be made it in 2 different colors. But I decided that 2 colors it's enough for me, and I make it sweater like the pattern is called. But the problem is that the yarn what I was using for this project, it's first it's really warm, and the second it's not really soft, like the skin soft. I will never wear a shell, something that close to the neck with that. So when I'm wearing this, I need to put something under this that will don't bite my skin, and it's warm like that, and when I put something under, it's even warmer. But I see some projects on Ravelry when this pattern was made in a cardigan, so people was making this, then sticking this, and I was thinking if that was cardigan and I can open this, so I will be using this more often. But the problem is, so if I was needed, first I don't stick before. Second, if you need to make a stick, you will need to insert some panel here before. So I don't know, should I look and find out how to stick this like it is, or should I just frog it and make that again? I don't really know. And while I was knitting this, I was making modification for this, because first on the project picture, on the picture of the pattern, the neck is quite wide, but actually in the project page of people who already make it, the neck is a lot tighter and sits higher on ends as on the pattern picture. So I looked through some pages, notes on another projects, and find out that there were some people who were starting with bigger size for the neck and then was going to lower size. So I actually start with size L for start, then around here I went to M, and then I went to S. But I was just not increasing as much as pattern was called. I was calculated how much I need. And also this sweater I separate for sleeves. Earlier it should be separated lower, but I separate earlier for this. So I don't know, should I frog it and make it again to use this, or should I find someone for this feature? But I actually don't know no one who like wool what is not really too skin friendly. And I like colors. I want to keep this for myself. So I think I should look through that what I was doing. If I have some note somewhere, frog it and knit it again and insert this panel, what will give me possibility to stick it after, and then I will have some sweater. But that will not be now. If you have some suggestions what I should do, write down there. But other of this, it's all about knitting. Thanks for watching. I will link my Instagram and my Ravelry name in the bar below, and I will try to make link to the projects, but I hope that I will manage to do this. If not, that I will make link what will get you to some place where will be links for all these projects. Thank you for watching, and I will try to record again in 2 weeks. Hi!